I started judo when I was 4 years old, and pretty soon I competed right away. You know, there's a lot of competitions, especially for judo. Judo is very rooted in Brazil. Brazil actually is one of the biggest colonies of Japanese outside Japan. You know, it is in Brazil, so judo is very strong base there. From there, I always was involved in martial arts somehow. From judo to taekwondo. I did some boxing and Muay Thai. And that's when, you know, with the Grace family, with Carlson Gracie, who was one of the most important coaches ever. My biggest accomplishment was definitely receive the belt from Carlson Gracie. Not just that's you talk about legend in the sport, that's the legend in the sport. There's a person that I really, you know, looking forward to be similar, close by, you know, scrap the surface of what he was. You know, he was the best coach that I ever met in my life. One of the best persons, you know, as a father figure, as a role model. It was everything. From Brazil, I was training a professional fighter named Rodrigo Nogueira. He's a Minotauro Nogueira. He's a big world champion. He was competing against Mark Coleman. It was a Division I wrestler here in Japan. So we went to Japan. We stayed there for a week or so. And I got a proposal to start working in Japan. You know, to open 1 hour affiliate schools in Japan. So right after that event, we went to the UFC in Vegas. And my other friend was competing. I went there to do his corner. That's when I met my partner, my actual partner, Daniel Lambert. So Dan said, hey, don't go to Japan, you know, stay here. You can do the same thing here. And okay, you know, the main goal is to learn English anyway. So okay, I'll go. So when I was here, like for 3 months, I already knew that you know I was going to stay. So I sold my part of Brazilian Top Team, the company that would have there. That was one of the biggest teams in the world at the time. And we found American Top Team. Training here, we had so many world champions that passed by here. You know, maybe not here right now, but we build them up. Hector Lombard, you know, we trained Hector Lombard. Mike Thomas Brown, you know, Mike Thomas Brown was a world champion. Steve Bruno, you know, won world championship in Korea. Jeff Monson, that's another one who was, you know, highest level. This guy was multiple times world champion, not just in jiu-jitsu and grappling, and he got so many belts. It's amazing. Thiago Alves, Thiago Silva, Kelly Anderson. There's a huge generation of new guys. There's so many guys that we can't even mention that. This visually impaired program, you know, started, you know, when my daughter was 1.5 years old. She had a genetic, you know, dysfunction that was the soft spot closes before the time, you know, the soft spot in the head. It closed before time. The doctors couldn't see it, and what happened is it created pressure in the brain, and the skull was closed. So it compressed the optic nerve. She ended up blind, and she passed through 2 surgeries. It was a really bad time in our life. That if it wasn't for martial arts, if it wasn't for this mentality of compete, accept defeat, but not be defeated, you know, and you just keep going. You just got to move on, keep going, and that's where the drive is. You know, you got to learn how to learn with your losses and accept them and just never quit. That's period what it is.
American Top Team has been very good to us and allowed us to come here each week for 5 weeks for individual lessons with an instructor and an assistant. And it helps us, or it helps the kids that are visually impaired and blind, learn independent skills. It's a close contact sport. It allows them to learn to respect and discipline and take this in other areas of their lives.
We're going to teach some mixed martial arts to them. We're going to work on some balance, some spatial awareness with them. We're going to warm up, bow. We're going to teach them some respect, some discipline, We're going to hit the bags, a little boxing, a little Muay Thai, the different aspects of mixed martial arts. We're going to do some jiu-jitsu and a little bit of judo. We're going to teach them how to fall, the correct way to fall so they don't get hurt when they fall. Discipline is one of the most important parts of martial arts. We try to really make that the foundation of what we teach here at American Top Team, and it's very important. I can't stress enough. Remember their stances? Okay, let me review for you. Your left foot is a little bit in front of
American Top Team stands for family. This is very important. Family. Family environment, family in all essence of the words. You know, we stand behind you, winning or losing, we stand behind you, and we want to create a great family environment in all the angles. So the majority of my instructors had this mentality. We pray this so hard, so much. We talk about this. We really idolize the fact that the family is the most important thing in the world. So for us, they take the pleasure in seeing not just the family of the visually impaired kids, but also the acceptance of the regular or sighted kids, you know, I would say the sighted kids, because they don't have too much contact with them. The acceptance with that, it's tremendous. It can impact not just a kid who never saw a blind person before, but also their ideal about what a blind person is.
In the ideal world, people with visual impairments, they're just like anybody else. Yes, they need assistance, but they are human. It just, because they have a disability doesn't mean that they should be ostracized or made fun of.
You know, it's really interesting because most people think that kids that are blind and visually impaired are different, or they're missing something, or there's something like so different than regular kids, but they're the same as any other child you'd meet on the street, and they have so much to give, and it's just so wonderful to work with them. This program is wonderful for the kids. It allows them to have self-confidence, be independent, show that they're able to do the same things that their sighted peers can do. It's a real motivator and a real, confidence builder for them.
This is what I heard. I'm not visually impaired, I'm not blind, but I'm in connection with a lot of parents and visually impaired people, and they really want to be accepted, to fit in. They are capable to do it. There are a lot of people there. They're completely independent, you know, autosufficient, and very successful. So this is very important for everybody to see it, you know, and no VP, you know, this is, so we want to create a family environment where the acceptance for the visually impaired will be, you know, more than anything.
I mean, just the fact that they're able, some of them are just much more disciplined. They're able to listen, to watch them do the sequence of activities that they do here without any intervention or help from us is amazing, because some of them aren't independent in, you know, their normal regular lives, but in this arena they can do everything by themselves.
Bella has developed she has no fear. She's strong-willed, and I think that the martial arts has brought that out even more so in her, because she wants to be just like the other kids. In a sense, I think she doesn't feel like she's different, but she does know that she's different, but she wants to do everything that they do. There's nothing that's going to stop her.
Felipe and George is one of the best examples, you know, that what this program can involve. Felipe, for example, competed in the state championship, you know, competed against sighted guys, won. He was a gold medalist, who put him in, and I think is one of the biggest joys of his life. You know, George was already more graduated in the sport, is competing at the highest level, you know, took third place in the national championships. What is tremendous.
When I was little, I take judo classes, and I heard about jiu-jitsu, this place, American Top Team, because a friend was doing it, and he told me one day, hey, you should come with us, and I've been training now for 8-9 months. And here I feel like my house. Now you don't feel any discrimination. Everybody's really good. My master Junior, Mr. Liborio, Mr. Nichols, and they've been great with me.
Both the instructors and Master Liborio has been very good to us. They allow us to come here. They make us feel a part of their community. The Lighthouse and them are looking to create more of a, more lessons for the kids for the fall. A lot of these kids have difficulty with transportation, so we're trying to develop some kind of program where we can get some more blind kids involved with their sighted peers. So not only in school, but as well as in the community.
So we have all these programs from grappling, BJJ, and judo for the bride. Now, American Top Team is certified to teach visually impaired or blind people. So they come over here, and the biggest mission that we have in here for the city is to bring American Top Team as a Paralympic site where all those vision impaired athletes can come over here and train prior to the Paralympics. And this is in the mission, and I think we're going to accomplish.